Welcome back to another episode of Chatty Chit Chats with Chatty Mother. And I know, as usual, you guys read that title. We have Real Talks with Jay. We got my girl Jada here today, and we actually have 15 questions that we're going to go through today just to get that team perspective and to get her personal perspectives. And to say what's up.
Hey y'all, Jada's here, and like I always say, I'm here to answer a couple questions.
All right, so we're going to get right into these questions, and these questions aren't of any particular subject or topic. They're kind of all over the place, so if you're listening, jump in and ask these questions to yourself. Why not? So the first question is, do you think people see you the way that you see yourself? If not, why do you think that is?
Well, personally, I get a lot of compliments from people saying that I'm beautiful, which I know I am, and I'm saying that in the most humblest way. So, yeah, I do think I see myself differently because even though people find me beautiful, I still see, flaws in myself, and I do have some insecurities, which... that's just, I feel like that's how it is with everybody. People who say that they are perfect and, say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, they still have insecurities within themselves, but you can still be perfect and, think that you are perfect, but you still have, flaws and insecurities. So just like me. Yeah.
Okay, so you have some flaws that you think that people don't really get to see on the outside. Is there anything you'd love to share as far as one of your flaws that you think people don't really necessarily see or know about you?
So one of my insecurities that I'm proud of saying is definitely my teeth. That's the one that I've kind of been stuck on for a while because I don't know, I just don't feel very confident about them, but I have started getting used to it and just talking freely without just trying to talk with my bottom teeth, even though it is kind of a habit sometimes since I know I haven't liked it for a very long time. But yeah, that's one of my insecurities, but I still find myself beautiful because I know I am.
You sure the hell are. What, girl? I know you see yourself. And yeah, no, thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing one of your insecurities. Because, a lot of times just even acknowledging our insecurity is really hard. Just talking about it and then talking about it now in this public space. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you're pushing through and finding ways to kind of just accept that this is who you are and that you're beautiful regardless of what flaws you think you have. Some people look at those flaws and be like, oh my God, I wish I had, your flaws. Okay, so let's get into the next question. Next question is, if someone isn't doing well, maybe one of your friends, they weren't doing well in one of their classes, what would your advice be to them?
It wouldn't necessarily be advice because I would, go out of my way to help them. But if I did, I guess, have to give advice, I just say, if it's they're not doing well, it could be maybe family problems. If they're not doing well, it could be maybe they just don't care. So I can't really put that in a general view. But if it was something specific, I could be say it was for, they keep trying, but they're just not doing well. Just don't be hard on yourself because I used to be that person where I was so hard on myself about everything I did and my grades weren't changing, and it was because I was being hard on myself. When you just do what you do and, get your grade back and maybe it's not good, you just keep trying. There's not much else you can do about it. Just keep trying and don't, force yourself or be too hard on yourself about it.
Amazing answer. That's actually great. I love that. I think that's literally advice. You said in the beginning, I don't know but that's literally advice, literally, and that's really good advice. Okay, cool. Yeah, just push through it. Okay, the next question is, what are your priorities for this year? Do you have any specific priorities for this year? And I'm not trying to make all these questions personal to you, but I think the reason I'm asking some of these questions is because I feel like it would be important for other teens or people to just hear the perspective of a teen, what priorities does a teenager have? You know what I'm saying? So what are your priorities for this year, if any?
Well, as being a 15-year-old girl, I would say, since I'm growing up and stuff, I don't know if this is necessarily a priority or just something I want, but I do want to get a job and start making money and, focus more on my hygiene, even though, it is good and I've already been doing that. I just want to, get more into it and have different types of styles within myself because I feel like I do have the same style all the time, especially with my hair because I know how to manage it, but I just want to learn how to do more styles with it and, just stuff around that.
Okay. So expanding your fashion, elevating on your skincare, your wellness, self-care. And you said getting a job.
Yes.
Okay, girl. We trying to get a job for the summer, trying to get them coins.
Yes,
As we should. These lashes are not cheap, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so I love that. Also, obviously, I'm pretty sure, just as your mom, we're going to add it in there. We know school is a priority, but maybe not the biggest because you're doing so well.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay, yes, girl, she doing good. That 10th grade is treating you
Passing all
right.
classes right now.
Okay, you say it again.
Passing all classes.
A period. And not low passing, right? Next question. Okay. Do you, and this kind of goes into what we're talking about with school, do you think that graduating college is important? Why or why not?
I honestly don't think so, because you can be an entrepreneur. In this generation, everybody's trying to be an entrepreneur and doing like their own things and, becoming estheticians and just stuff like that. So I don't think you need to graduate college to, be something or have a future. But if you do, it's also good because you could want to become a doctor. You need to go to college and university for that. Like, you know what I mean? So it really depends on what you want to do. But I don't think you need to go to college.
Not necessary to life. We don't need calculus. We don't need algebra.
You don't need to go in debt.
True. You don't need to go in debt because obviously, like she said, it's true. Some people don't need college, like depending on what your field is. I think that's what makes the most sense. Amazing answer again, girl. Okay. The next question that we have for you is, what does having a successful life look like in your opinion?
What it looks like to me is basically just mainly being financially stable, being happy, and, being able to just go out shopping without, no thought like, oh my God, am I going to have to pay this back? Am I going to have to pay this back? You know what I mean? Like, just being able to do what you want freely. Like I said, financially stable, because that's a big thing in your life, needing to be financially stable and happy. Because if you're not happy, you're not going to be successful, and, you're just not going to be happy.
Yep, co-sign that answer. You definitely need to make sure that you have like a plan, and at the end of the day, I think it's just feeling free. Some people look at having a successful life as just having knowledge. They don't really care about the finances and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it's really like what matters to you personally. But in the society, girl, you're going to need them finances together. Get your coins together. Okay, so the next one is, and this one is getting a little bit deeper because I want to know your perspective. This is not personal to you. This is just kind of like a scenario type question. If you had a friend who told you she was pregnant, but didn't tell her parents and didn't know what to do and came and asked you, what would your advice to her be?
Well, a lot of parents are different. So some parents will kick you out, and, some parents will, like support you with it. But I would just say tell your parents, because say you go get an abortion without your parents knowing. An abortion, I just figured out that like it's very stressful on your mental state, and I didn't know that. I thought you're just gonna pop out that baby or pop out that little fetus and you'll be good. But I would suggest you to tell your parents, and I feel like you'll get more support through that way. And yeah, just tell your parents.
Yeah, and I think, like she said, there's a lot of psychological trauma that could possibly come with, an abortion, depending on who it is and how it affects you or them or whatever. But the just to speak to the beginning of what you were saying about, depending on the parents, some people don't have like a support system that they feel safe to go and, based off some religions and just based off your age alone, it could be a really, really bad situation for you to go home to a parent and tell them, hey, look, yeah, I've been bumping and grinding and
Yeah.
You didn't know that, but now I'm also pregnant. You about to be a grandma. Like, it's crazy. So I can definitely understand the fears around that. I think it's important. Like, if I was a teenager and I got pregnant, I think what I would do is, and I had a mom I felt very scared to go and talk to. I would find that person that I do feel comfortable talking to or that I do confide in and have them with me when I'm going to, break that kind of news, so that there's a third person there to kind of just help buffer the situation. How do you personally feel about abortion, though? Speaking of abortions, what is your thoughts, opinions? Yeah. Or do you have any ideas about it?
Honestly, get that abortion if you need to get it, because you never know what somebody is going through, or like what led a person to get into that situation. Like, women get raped all the time. They can get pregnant off of that and want an abortion. When like a woman might not be ready to have a child and might think that plan B didn't work, so I need to get an abortion. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely pro-choice. That's what you call it, right? Yep. I'm definitely pro-choice. If you need to get that abortion, get it.
And we're just going to move right on to the next question. I don't even have nothing to add. I agree, co-sign it, moving on. What kind of personality couldn't be in your circle and why? Like, what's the type of personality that you just don't vibe with?
Closed mindset people. Like, if you're just a person that's very stubborn and ignorant, I think that's the word, that's just very closed off and doesn't want to hear anyone else's opinion, you're just stuck on your opinion, even though what people are saying to you might be, it might better your life or it might better how you think. If you're not a person that wants to hear that, then I don't want to be around you. I don't. Because with me, it's like, sometimes I don't like criticism and I know I can't take it sometimes. And I might have a little attitude being like, hearing that from a person. But I'm still going to take it and think about it and be like, oh, okay, she might be right. Maybe I am a little annoying, or maybe Trump is annoying. Like, you know what I mean? So I just don't like not fixed mindset, closed mindset people.
Yeah, fixed mindsets too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To like one idea.
Yeah, so I would not want that around me or in my energy or in my space.
Yep, I mean, okay, I feel that, like, who would? And, like, it's also because of the way we choose to live. Like, we're very free to living people, and we like to express ourselves in so many different ways and also have so many different ideas of life. And so we just want to make sure that, we have people around us who are willing to try to understand that. You don't got to like it. You know what I'm saying? But try to listen and be open to it. Okay, so the next one. We're wrapping it up shortly. We have, I think, about 4 or 5 more questions, and then we're going to be wrapping this up. This is such a good session. I'm really enjoying this. And you're looking beautiful, by the way.
Thank
this lip
you.
combo is giving. Look at this lip. Girl, I wish y'all could see it. Okay, all right. So let's get into the next one. So the next question is, what habits do you have now that you foresee having in the future as an adult? So what things do you do now that you think you'll do the same things as an adult? Like, as in actions, like, is there a specific routine that you do for your self-care? Is there, like, the way that you have your, like, the way that you organize things? Do you think that you're going to be that way? Like, is there anything that you know that I'm going to be this kind of person as an adult?
All I can really say is my skincare, because every year I have different eras. Every year I'm a different person. So I can't really be like, oh, I'm definitely going to do this when I'm older, unless it's skincare. So yeah, skincare. That's it. That's my final answer.
Okay, skincare, yes. And if y'all didn't know, she's the one that Jada is the one that put me on skincare in a new way. Like, literally, I made a video recently just talking about how what I thought self-care was. Like, I used to use body lotion on my face, like body wash on my face. I never had specific products for specific spots on I have eye cream now. Like, I got, you know what I'm saying? So,
you got more than me.
And I got so many steps, right? I got so many steps. And it's like, I really appreciate you for that, because skincare, taking care of your skin and taking care of yourself, that's self-care. And that's just going to elevate your life, and that's just going to make you feel good. So, yes. Okay, so you're going to be a skincare queen for the rest of your life, period. And I'm following right behind you. Okay, so the next, I think it's just 2 more questions. I think I'm going to ask the more harder question first, so we can end off in a little bit of a better way. Because this one is a little bit heavier. So we recently experienced a loss, which was your first loss, right?
Yeah.
Rest in peace to my grandma, her great grandma. How was the grieving process for you, and what advice would you give to someone who's dealing with those kind of feelings? Because I know that grieving, we all grieve differently, but for a teenager, is there any different process? And what would your advice be to just anybody who's grieving, based off of what you've experienced?
Grieving for me, it was like difficult, but I think I do grieve differently from people. Like, I feel like I seem fine when I'm not, and like I seem like I can just like get over stuff very quickly. But my grieving process, it wasn't very long, because I kind of accepted it before like it even happened, and kind of like already had that mindset of, okay, it might end up in this way or it might end up in this way. But the advice I would give for other people that this has happened to, or like possibly could happen, is just surround yourself with people that you love and people that care for you, because talking and communicating with people about the situation that you're in will really help you. Because if you're just alone, dwelling in your thoughts, very sad, crying every day, it's not going to do anything for you but just make it worse. So definitely talk to people, talk to your peers, talk to your family, talk to your friends, and just get that support that you need, even if you feel like you don't.
Nice answer. I think it's true. I think that's actually true about your personality. Like, I was just like, wow, she's handling this so well, because outwardly what you present is just like this strong girl, like barely any tears. You're just really strong. But even though I knew, of course, it was hurting you, and of course, we did see tears and stuff like that, it just wasn't at the extent that I expected as your mom. And I just have to say you're really strong, but I think it's so important what you said is making sure that even though you may be that type of person, or if you even recognize that about yourself, making sure that you're stepping outside of that to talk to somebody. Don't keep those feelings bottled up. It's very dangerous. It's not healthy, or it's going to make your grieving process a lot longer, and maybe turn it dark. You never know. You just need to make sure that you have support. Call somebody, talk to somebody. Even if you're the type of person that's listening to this and you don't have no friends, no family, like, there's lots of online free supports. There's lots of phone numbers that you can call that are just free online supports. Every country, community, city has them. So definitely reach out to somebody. But yeah, I love that answer. And I think I just really wanted to know for myself how it was. I was really excited to ask that question, because it's been like about 3 months now, less than 3 months that we've lost my grandma. And yeah, it's just been, it's really fresh for us. So we don't really talk about it that much. And, lately anyways, we've kind of like gotten over that hump of talking about it a lot and just kind of letting it settle. So yeah, I'm just glad we had that moment to talk about that. And we're going to definitely talk a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. So last question, just to turn it back around, is similar to the question previous, not the lost question. But what habits do you want to grow out of? So the opposite as you get older. Do you have any habit that you know about yourself that you're just like, when I'm older, like, I just hope I don't have that part of myself?
Definitely, and it's being indecisive, because with me it's like I always need to get a person's like opinion on something, or asking them if I should do this or do that. Like, even today, I asked my friend, should I do my makeup or not? Like, I need to know, if I want to do my makeup, I'm going to do my makeup. Like, I need to figure that out myself. There's no reason for me to be asking her. So definitely being indecisive, and like, just doing what I want to do, knowing that I want to do it. Because say I ask my mom, do you think I should go to the park today? Knowing I want to do it, and I want to get the yes answer from her. And if she gives me the no, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? So if I want to go to the park, I'm going to go to the park. There's no reason for me to be asking, even though I do ask, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, girl, what the hell you mean you going to the park? You ain't asking. I was like, what a crazy example. But yeah, I get the synopsis of what you're trying to say, basically. It's just like, just do it if you want to do it. But I think it's okay to have opinions. I'm still even in my older age, very indecisive when it comes to a lot of things. And I think sometimes I just don't want to make a decision. I'm just like, ugh, just tell me which one looks better, because I can't pick. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's okay. And that's why you got to have support in your life. It's okay to call your friends up. But yeah, being sure of yourself comes with time. And over time, more things, you'll just have your own ideas and just feel very strong in it. So don't even worry about that. You're just fine. But I think that wraps it up. Any final words?
Y'all, you will see me in the next episode.
We're going to need a makeup video. We're going to need some skincare videos. We're going to need some videos. You're not planning on ever doing any content? Are you going to be a social media queen ever?
Probably not, y'all. Probably not. But you'll hear from me in this podcast. Just know that.
Okay, yes. And I think we mentioned that Jada's a little bit more private. First of all, she grew up in this world. She's been on YouTube since she was 6 years old. Okay, so it's old for her, and she's creating her own path. And so yeah, I'm just glad that I have her in this space and we can enjoy her. But thank you guys so much for listening today, and love and light to anybody who needs it. Until the next episode. Bye.